All right, back here at Frickers. We're just going to be in here for about a minute. We got news coming up here at the top of the hour. So we're going to lead things off when we get to the Adrian College side now. We've got, I'm going to get this down now, Andrew Dovey, and he is one of the assistant coaches on the Adrian College men's ice hockey team. You let the guy get strep throat? Is that what happened?
Yeah. You know what? We were on the road this weekend, and I didn't even get to stay in the room. I was staying out of it the whole time because he was sick in bed. So I was basically sleeping in the couch in the lobby of the hotel room. So
he gets strep throat. So that means, first of all, he doesn't want to get anybody else sick. But, of course, second of all, he wouldn't be able to talk anyway. So...
Yeah, it was for myself being a young coach. I guess it was my first time really running the show with him being down. So he basically came out of the room to coach, and that was it at game time. So,
all right. Well, we're trying to time this out, Andrew. We're going to be back right after the news. We're going to talk about what turned out to be a really nice weekend for the Adrian College men's hockey team. We'll be back right after the news here on 103.9 WLEN.
Again, coming up at the top of the hour, we'll take a look at national, international news. Then we'll return to Frickers and John Koehn.
And now let's get back to more of the Coaches Show, live from Frickers on South Main in Adrian.
All right, welcome back here to Frickers on South Main in Adrian. As I said, we're going to resume with Andrew Dovey. Andrew, just tell us a little bit about yourself. You were telling me that you're a former Adrian College ice hockey player. Tell us a little bit about.
Yep. So I'm actually a Canadian, if you can hear my accent or not. But I've been here for about 5 years now. I did my 4-year undergrad here while playing hockey at the school for the team under Ron and Stavy, who are now at Princeton. And then I was also a 2-year captain my junior and senior year. And so last year I finished my schooling, played a year of minor professional down in Knoxville, Tennessee, and the job became available here, and I was lucky enough to get hired on by Adam.
Frickers, the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, is ready when you are for lunch, dinner, or late night. Bring the whole team for an office lunch party, or get together with the entire family for dinner. At Frickers, kids 10 and under eat free every day. Frickers has daily specials.
To the studio. Okay, I guess we're back now. All right. So, Andrew, you had a big series this weekend. I can't. You never really want to say that anything's easy, but 5-0 in both games. It doesn't get any easier than that, I don't think, does it?
Well, the one thing that we've been preaching to our guys all season long, and this is even something I was told when I was here, is winning is hard work. And it doesn't matter who you play, and it really doesn't. It's winning is hard work. And it doesn't matter if you play the worst team, you play the best teams in the conference or in the countries. In the position that we're in, being a top-ranked team, every night we get somebody's A game. They always bring their A game to play top teams in the country, and so our guys have to be ready for that.
Well, but, Lawrence is a solid club. They're a solid program. And, when you jump out on them 5-0 both nights, I mean, I'm sure, what's his face in the, I forgot his name now, but wait a minute, I got it right here. Shackle.
Shacks.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure that he was feeling pretty comfortable looking at a 5-0 lead.
I'm sure he was, definitely. And he can thank the guys for that too, because he's pulled us out of a lot of big games, especially recently. But you know what? That's winning is hard work, and that's what we've talked about all season. And it's bringing that blue-collar hockey identity to the ice every single night and beating teams up, down low, and getting pucks to the net and beating them down physically. And it's not easy, but our guys have done that ever since this Norbert weekend. I hate to bring up the Norbert weekend because it's in the past, but it's almost like we found how to play, and how myself and Adam have been preaching to the guys, this is how we need to play night in, night out. So,
well, we talk about the first game, 6-1 on Friday night, and Matthew Thompson gets the first star there. He gets 3 goals, all on the power play. So first of all, tell us a little bit about Matthew, but then again, the power play, ever since Finlandia, when things weren't working, all of a sudden the power plays really started to come on.
Yeah. Well, first off, Tomer is, I don't want to say a nice surprise, but coming in this year, we didn't do the recruiting, obviously. It was still Ron and Stav's guys, and we really didn't know what to expect out of any guys. But Tomer, and you know what, for all 5 of our freshmen, they have done such a great job. They come to the rink every day, they work hard, smile on their face. They get along with the rest of the team so well, and they've really gelled with the team. But also there's a little bit of chemistry within each other too. So Tomer and Kyle brothers and Josh Rinaldi, who's a senior on there, have some nice have been working very well together, and things have worked out great. As far as the power plays going, you know what? We've worked at it all season, and we do feel if our special teams are the best in the game, we're going to win the game. And this weekend, I believe our power play went 5 for 10, so we were running at 50%, and then our PK was perfect. So,
yeah, I mean that's it right there. And of course, so many games can be won and lost on special teams. Like
absolutely.
So Thompson has 3 goals on the power play and an assist. You mentioned Rinaldi; he gets a goal. He's been really solid all season long. Not really. I don't think he's flashy, but he's just really fundamentally sound.
You know what, Josh is? He's a working hard kind of player. He's, I talk about blue collar all the time, and that's the exact type of player he is. He works hard. He knows where to go to score the goals. He'll get some greasy ones, as we like to call them. He'll get some really nice ones. So he's a little bit of everything, but more importantly, is he's a two-way player, and that's why he's so valuable to our team.
And then Olenek, excuse me, didn't write his name down quite right. Don't have him come after me. Olenek. Okay, he does the job not only on the penalty kill, but he bounced back with a shorthanded goal plus another one.
Right, and you know what? On his one shorthanded goal, Ryan Giesler, who had 4 assists that night, actually made a really nice play and a smart play with Kevin Ballas coming with speed. And all we've told guys, I mean, the way you score goals is you go to the net and he goes to the net goal or goes to the goal and gets rewarded. So Ole had a really fine weekend as well. Another kid that works hard, but a two-way player that we can trust in our own zone, but as well as he'll produce offensively as well.
You know, when you talked about it, and when we talked about that lately, the penalty kill has been really effective. From a coaching standpoint, does that allow you to think about, I don't know, doing some things, maybe taking a few chances because you know your penalty kill is really solid, or you're just going to say, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to stay solid, fundamental hockey, but even though, you got that in the back of your mind.
Right. And you know what? Like we tell our guys, I mean, you're out there to kill penalties. You're not out there to score goals. But good penalty killing results in maybe a couple opportunities to score some goals, and we're not going to hold guys back from scoring goals.
So they always got the green light to make something happen if it's there.
Absolutely. Make a play if it's there.
Make a play if it's there. Well, they certainly made a lot of plays Friday night. Now, you get the game Friday night, and then you come into Saturday, and man, the guys must have thought they were just really on a roll. I mean, they got what I'd say a relatively easy win against a good club on the road, 6-1 on Friday night. They come out Saturday, they're just on fire.
Yeah, and I don't want you to ever say you feel bad for beating a team, but the fact that it was Lawrence's senior night and they put a senior goalie in, and I think they pulled him 4 minutes into the game. That's not something you want to see, but unfortunately, it's the nature of the game. But you know what? The guys rallied well, and we told them, especially down this stretch of the season, consistency is so important, and you need to bring that A game every single night. And I think that's what makes the difference between a good competitive team and, you know, the teams that struggle, that go hot and cold throughout the whole season. So.
Well, they made sure that, you know, they took advantage of what was presented to them. They jumped on them. 5 goals in the first period. It's just, you know, then after that, it's like, you know, if you're the other team, it's like you got to think, holy crap. You know, how are we going to, you know.
It's funny. Kyle Brothers actually had 2 goals disallowed in his first shift, too, so it could have been 7. But, again, like, winning is hard work, and when you go do the right things and you go to the net and you chip pucks out and you know what, things fall into place for a reason and you get rewarded for a reason. So that's the one thing we've been trying to preach to our guys, is play the game the right way.
Oh yeah, and you win it 7-1, but you got a lot of guys contributing. You get 6 different guys scoring goals for you in that game.
Absolutely, and you know what, that's the nice thing about our depth is, you know, we got guys that can score from our top our power play lines all the way to our PK guys as well, and I think that is going to help us in the long run. And if you look at the successful teams in any hockey, whether it's the NHL or NCAA Division III, the teams with the most depth win hockey games here and win championships. So.
Well, and of course, what I'm saying is when you talk about depth, you got 6 different guys that scored Saturday night, and none of those guys scored Friday night.
Yeah, you know
that's
what?
a lot of different guys scoring goals,
and that's a good thing. And again, it's as a coach, you can't complain about that now. But you know what? When you go to the net, good things happen, and it seems like all of our guys are doing that now. Which at one point in the season, we were a bit more perimeter and weren't going to the net, and we were struggling to score goals, especially in early January, late December. So.
Well, you know, you talk about it and going to the net, how important that is, and you're scoring goals. But, and with, you know, and you got, we should mention the guys, Mihailovic with 1. You can tell me if I get the names wrong.
It's Mihailovic. And I was surprised he scored 2, but everybody was happy for him.
Okay. Heberbrand gets a goal.
Yep.
I get that one right. Thompson with a goal.
Yep.
Lissy with the goal. Is Lissy?
Lisi.
Okay, there we go. With a goal. And Lowell has a goal. And Brothers, it says here he got a couple?
Yeah, he got 2 in the third, but he could have had 2 his first shift, too. So.
And he got 2. Those were both on the power play.
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure that we mention those guys because they're working really hard. But when you talk about sending, you know, getting guys to the net, getting traffic in front of the goaltender, good things happen. But at the same time, you know, when you press like that, what's the other thing that's not happening is you're not turning over the puck and allowing the other team maybe to get an odd man rush the other way since you're pressing so far to the net.
Absolutely. And you know what? That has to do with, our forwards being smart. The way our systems are in place, it allows our D, or our defensemen, to be pretty aggressive in the offensive zone, so we're able to hem teams in. So typically, I mean, if we can keep a high forward there, we're playing our best hockey is when our D are allowed to attack and force their wingers and keep them in the zone. So,
yeah, because, I mean, that's just, it's not, you know, the other team getting odd man rushes and being able to take advantage just not happening, even though you're pressing into the net. Well, we're going to be back with more from Andrew Dovey, one of the assistant coaches for the Adrian College men's ice hockey team, right after this for Frickers here on 103.9 WLEN.
Dave Knapp Ford Lincoln temperature check outside. Brooklyn 18 to Jackson 18, Toledo 22. And 19 degrees in Adrian, wind chill of 14. See Dave Knapp for the area's best deals on new Fords and Lincolns. Check them out online at knappford.com. Dave Knapp Ford, no one beats their deals.
Frickers, the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, is ready when you are for lunch, dinner, or late night. Bring the whole team for an office lunch party or get together with the entire family for dinner. At Frickers, kids 10 and under eat free every day. Frickers has daily specials, and the kitchen is open late night till 1:30 a.m. Lunch, dinner, or late night, Frickers is ready when you are. All day happy hour, daily specials, kids eat free every day. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
And now let's get back to more of the Coaches Show, live from Frickers on South Main in Adrian.
Welcome back here to the Coaches Show once again, and Andrew Dovey is back with us. Well, Andrew, I mean, is the club playing, are they just about where you want them at the right time of the year?
You know what? I've had this conversation, I think, 100 times with 100 different people. And you know what? Like, realistically, college hockey is all about peaking at the right times, and it's about throwing together 10 games at the end of the season where you're playing your best hockey. Coming into even December and even January when we came back from the winter break, everybody's asking me, well, you know, what do you think? Like, normally we've played really good, and you know, we're 12-0 or something like that, and it's like, I was telling them, you know what? This team has not played their best hockey yet all season. And I think with that, again, I bring it up, but it was such a huge weekend for our club, is that Norbert weekend, just for the guys to see how they need to play and beat arguably the best team in the country. It's almost like it was like, oh, that's how you play. And things began to click. And like right now, we're going to ride it, but we also know that consistency and bringing that game every single weekend is what we need to do. So.
Well, I've talked to Adam about this before, you know, and college hockey can be a cruel sport. You get to the postseason and you're looking at one and done.
Right.
And so to really get out of the season what you want to get out of the season is, like you say, you want to be playing your best hockey the last 10 games of the season, because unfortunately, anything can happen in the postseason. And sometimes the best team doesn't win, and you know they're one and done.
You're exactly right, and that's the nature of the beast that we're doing, or we're playing right now. But it's, again, I bring it up, but it's so true, is the consistency factor, and it's bringing that A game every single night, and especially once you get into playoffs and the NCAA tournament, you know you're going to be playing everybody's A game every single night.
Well, and you know, you talk about it's the consistency, but the consistency breeds confidence.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, when you got a confident club going out onto the ice, that, you know, they know how to not only to take advantage of the stuff that they can take advantage of, but they also know how to deal with adversity if that happens to strike.
Absolutely. And you know what, with what you're talking about there, and confidence, and with a couple big road wins this weekend, we'll secure first place in our actually literally only 1 point this weekend. We'll secure our first place in our home ice for the rest of the season, which will be huge for our guys, just because we've been road warriors this past semester, where we've been on the road, I think, 5 or 6 times and only had the one home weekend. So coming back home to play those big games is going to be huge, and having our home ice advantage with our fans and everybody there, I know the guys are looking forward to it. So,
well, you mentioned it, so we might as well get right to it. You know, the Bulldogs have clinched at least a share of the title, and like you said, they only need 1 point at Lake Forest. Lake Forest, really good hockey club, and you got 2 that you got to play there.
Absolutely, and you know what? Lake Forest has done a great job this year. If you told me that they were going to be in contention for this conference at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have believed you, but they've done a hell of a job there. They've got a hot goaltender. Arguably, he's probably got the best numbers in the league right now. And we've ran into hot goalies prior to this weekend too. So we're going to have to find ways to get to the net, get pucks to the net, and again, find those dirty, greasy goals and chip them in, because the chance of scoring nice goals against this guy is going to be very tough.
So they got a good goaltender, and like you say, you can never tell when you face a hot goaltender. Sometimes he can be all the difference in
Absolutely.
the game. And no matter what you do, you know, you just have to go back to Finlandia for one game when you outshot them 41-9 and you couldn't put one in the net.
Absolutely, and that's again. Well, you bring up Finlandia, and that's kind of when we were going through that little hump there, and we weren't going to the net. We were very perimeter, and we made life very easy for the goalie. So, but again, going to the net, finding rebounds, getting traffic in front of them, that's all going to help this weekend coming up. So.
Give me an idea. What else is Lake Forest going to bring to the rink? I mean, besides a hot goaltender, I didn't check the standings, but I know going into last week's action, they were actually second in the league, right? Was that right?
Yep. They were second coming up to last week. I was doing a bit of pre-scout on them today, and I know a little bit about them from before, but I know that defensively they are sound as ever this year. So they are protecting their house very well. Their PK, I believe, is running at around 91%, which is the highest in Division III hockey at this point. So our power play is going to be challenged this weekend, and it's up to them to answer the bell. So,
is there obviously you want to get 4 out of it, but is there any strategy that perhaps plays into the fact that you only need 1 point?
You know what? I think there is, but that's not the mentality that we're going to have going into it. Our mentality is we're going there for 4 points, and the guys know that too. And it'd be nice just to even go into their own barn and take 4 from them, just to have that mental aspect if they have to come back and come to Arrington, that, you know what, oh, these guys beat us twice at our own place, how are we going to beat them at their place? So,
well, you know, you talked about their strengths, but one of the things, you know, that I'd have to say, and just from the way they've been playing in the last, like you said, the last 10 games, I don't think there's another club in the league that's got the depth that the Bulldogs have.
Well, we'd like to think so, at least. I mean, how this.
You've had 10 different guys score goals in the last 2 games.
Yeah, and you know what? It's nice to see guys getting rewarded for doing the right things. Earlier in the season, it probably wasn't that way. But from what Adam and myself have been preaching to these guys is you got to play the game the right way, go to the net, and you'll get rewarded for it, and that's what they've done. So as far as the team, really happy with where we're heading right now. I think we're heading in the right direction, and I think we are confident but never comfortable.
Does the fact that, you know, you've got this kind of depth, does that mean something for you guys in the third period? I mean, obviously, I know you're rolling your lines really well, and if you got better depth than the other guys, you may be able to have more steam in the tank when the third period comes.
Absolutely. And if we can roll all 4 lines, that's going to help us down the road. And just with hockey being hockey, typically your 1 and 2 lines cancel each other's out, and it's your 3rd and 4th line players that can make the difference. So.
Yeah, and what did Adam tell me? It was against St. Norbert. He started the 4th line.
Yep. That's our big line. So I think we got a 6-3, 6-3, and 6-2 or something like that. So.
He started the game with his 4th line, and was trying to send a message. It looked like he did.
I don't even know if we call them our 4th line sometimes because they just hem teams in their own zone, but we call that team or that line the SWAT line. So.
And, you know, and it was like, we haven't mentioned this, you know, on the air. I was just talking to Adam off air. But, yeah, the Bulldogs got these big defensemen, and it's kind of out of character when you consider that Adam's brother, who I said was 5'9", and Andrew said that could be a little generous, 5'9", 181.
Don't tell him I said that. But.
Yeah. But he plays for the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
And so you don't have to be a really big guy to play this game. You just have to be really good.
Right. And and you can ask Adam this, and I know he'll agree with me, but I think the thing with Torrey is what separates him, and he may be a lot smaller than a lot of players, but sometimes he's a lot smarter than a lot of players. So it's he's a great player, but he makes smart decisions, and it makes things easier on himself, so he doesn't get into those situations where size is a factor.
Yeah. I mean, he had a really solid season last year for the Bruins. He's having a really nice season again this year. So Adam's got to be proud of his brother, what he's doing in the National Hockey League.
Oh, he is. And it's almost like every night the Bruins are playing, so he goes home and he goes watches his brother, and him and his dad are texting back and forth. And all four brothers, I'm sure, are texting back and forth about Torrey's game. So it's a really cool thing to be around, to be totally honest with you, and to see I don't want to say an NHL family, but I guess that's what it is. But everybody rallying around one of your family members and seeing them do well, and it's pretty cool.
Well, Andrew, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and talking with us here tonight about the Adrian College men's hockey team. Best of luck this weekend in Lake Forest, and we look forward to seeing the Bulldogs at home when the playoffs start.
Absolutely, we can't wait. Like I told you before, we've been on the road too much this past semester, so it'll be nice to get some home games finally in. So.
All right, thanks, Adam. We're going to be back. I'll be back to wrap up our program here tonight, right after this for Frickers here on 103.9 WLEN.
Frickers, the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, is ready when you are for lunch, dinner, or late night. Bring the whole team for an office lunch party or get together with the entire family for dinner. At Frickers, kids 10 and under eat free every day. Frickers has daily specials, and the kitchen is open late night till 1:30 a.m. Lunch, dinner, or late night, Frickers is ready when you are. All day happy hour, daily specials, kids eat free every day. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
And now let's get back to more of the Coaches Show, live from Frickers on South Main in Adrian.
All right, back here at the Coaches Show from Frickers here on South Main in Adrian. Mark White, the head men's basketball coach for the Adrian College Bulldogs, wasn't able to be with us tonight. And so we're just going to review what happened to the Bulldogs this past week. Probably a frustrating week for the Adrian College Bulldogs. They played well. They played the two of the three MIAA leaders on the road this last week. They played well. They just didn't play well enough. And it started on Wednesday when they went down to take on Trine University, Trine with a 66-55 victory. I guess the one stat in that ball game that just jumps right out at you is the fact that Trine was 33 of 37 at the free throw line. Now, that just doesn't, while, the Bulldogs, they shot well from the line, but Trine got 22 more free throw attempts than Adrian College did in that game. The Bulldogs were 13 of 15. And so Trine outscored them by 20 points at the free throw line in an 11-point win. And when you figure that Adrian College is one of the best defensive teams in the MIAA, the fact that Trine got 37 free throws is, that kind of jumps out at you. And you kind of wonder what was happening down there during that particular ball game, because that kind of disparity in free throws normally doesn't happen. And so the loss, a tough one for Adrian College. Ricky Jackson with a career-high 26 points in that ball game. Had a heck of a night. 8 of 14 from the field, 5 of 7 from three-point range. Jordan Denham, he had 12 points. And maybe the one negative thing out of that, the Bulldogs had 16 turnovers in that ball game, and Trine was able to convert that into 21 points. So they got the victory on that one. And in the second ball game, they had to travel to Calvin, another one of the league leaders. They were down just 6 at halftime, and the second half was tight, kind of went back and forth. Bulldogs could not quite get over the hump in that one as they lost to Calvin 69-61. So they're playing the two leaders on the road, and they lose by 11 and they lose by 8. So they played well, but just not well enough to get the win. Justin Webster with 17 points leads the way for the Bulldogs in that one. Jackson with 16 points and 6 rebounds. Ben Rodak had 11 points, and Jordan Denham with 10 points. So they had 4 players in double figures, and it just wasn't quite enough. They'll be at home. Their next ball game will be against Albion on Wednesday night. So check out the Bulldogs over at Adrian College. It's going to wrap up our program here this evening. This is John Koehn. For Mike Reynolds back at the studio saying so long from Frickers and the Coaches Show here on 103.9 WLEN.